In this video, I'll show you 3 powerful strategies to ask for clarifications that will make you look smarter and more professional. Hello everyone, my name's Carrie. I spent 13 years as a conference interpreter working with leaders like Warren Buffett and Ray Dalio and for organizations like the UN and Goldman Sachs. Now I coach busy professionals like you to improve their English communication skills and build more confidence at work. I know exactly how it feels when you don't understand something in an English meeting. You are afraid to ask the question because it will make you look foolish or incompetent. I've been there too. So today I will share 3 strategies that will help you ask for clarifications professionally and confidently. And make sure you stay until the end because I'm going to show you what happens when you don't ask questions. I will rationally play out the whole situation. It is much worse than you think. Strategy number 1, be specific and provide guidance. One of the biggest mistakes that Chinese professionals make is to give very vague responses. When we don't understand something in an English meeting, we tend to use vague responses like, pardon, I don't understand, I don't get it. These vague responses not only make communication more difficult, they're actually counterproductive because other people won't know how to help you understand. Let me show you what I mean. I had a student who always used to say, I don't understand, I don't get it in meetings. Her colleagues would get very frustrated and even impatient because they didn't know how to help her. What part didn't she understand? Was it everything? Is it just one word? Is it the whole concept? Without that information, they were stuck. So we worked on being more specific, and she learned how to ask for clarification with specificity by saying something like, could you please walk me through the second part about the client requirement again a bit slowly? I want to understand it better. The difference was immediate. Her colleagues were very happy and very patient because now they knew exactly what she needed. Needless to say, both communication and relationships improved dramatically. So here's what you need to do. Be very specific about what you don't understand and provide guidance so others know how to help you understand. Point out exactly what is causing the problem. Here are some examples. If it's about speed, for example, the other person speaking too fast so that you don't understand, you can say, would you mind going a little bit slower on the problem you were having? If it's about terminology, for example, the other person used some words or phrases you don't understand, you can say, well, you mentioned AGI several times. Do you mind explaining what that means in this context? If it's about a specific part, for example, there is a big part that you just don't understand, you can say something like, I'm not quite clear about the second part when you discuss the timeline. Can you explain it to me again? Here is the takeaway. Being specific makes you look more professional. When you are specific about what you don't understand, you show you are actively engaged. You care about getting things right, and you respect other people's time. Think about it. When you ask very vague questions, others might have to guess what you don't understand. No one can read your mind. So the more specific you are when asking questions, the easier it is for others to help you and the more professional you appear. Strategy number 2, frame your question intelligently. The way you frame your question can completely change how other people perceive you. Most Chinese professionals tend to be very direct and very blunt when we don't understand something. We will say, I don't understand, I don't know, I don't get it. Being direct is good, but in professional settings, being too direct sometimes can make you look less capable than you actually are. Let me show you how world-class leaders handle this kind of situation. I worked with many CEOs who are masters at asking for clarifications. When they don't understand something, they would say, that's very interesting. Could you break that down for me? I'd like to get a clearer picture. Notice how different it sounds from I don't understand. They are not only asking for clarification, they are showing interest and they are showing engagement while doing it. The key is to frame your question in a way that demonstrates your professional mindset. Here are some powerful phrases that you can use when you don't understand what's being said. You can say, could you walk me through that again? I want to make sure I understand all the details. I'd like to get a clearer picture of what you mean by blah, blah, blah. Would you mind elaborating on that point? It seems very important. Remember, everybody needs clarification sometimes, even the smartest people in the world. The difference lies in how you ask for that clarification. By framing your questions professionally, you transform the moments of confusion into opportunities to showcase your communication skills. By the way, if you'd like to learn more such phrases for asking questions in professional settings, I prepared a free guide for you. It covers everything we talked about in this video and more examples. You can click the link in the video description description down below and download it. Strategy number 3, remind everyone of the common goal. Sometimes in meetings and negotiations, everyone forgets why they're there. You might forget you are there to communicate and start worrying about your English listening ability, thinking it's some kind of test. Others might rush through content, just want to finish the meeting quickly. But neither of these is the real goal. The real goal is to understand each other and solve problems together. Let me show you how to remind everybody of this goal when you ask for clarifications. Instead of just saying, could you repeat that? You can say, would you mind going through the last part again? I want to double check my understanding because this is important. By adding the second part, I want to double check my understanding because this is important, you are gently reminding everybody, including yourself, that we are here to understand, to communicate, and to solve problems together. Here's how one of my students used this technique. She was having a lot of trouble catching fast discussions in English meetings. Her English listening skill is just not good enough to handle everything. In the past, she would just pretend that she understands, and then she had to ask other people after the meeting what was said, which was kind of awkward and also very time-consuming. So after learning this technique, she used it in her next meeting. When she couldn't understand something, she said, "Thanks for walking us through this. Could you explain the timeline part again? I want to make sure I understand it completely since it affects our next steps." This way, she reminded herself why she was there and reminded everybody of their shared goal. Her clients and colleagues were very happy to slow down and explain the whole thing again to her because she reminded them why they were there. They were there to make everybody understand, to communicate, and to solve problems together. Now you have the 3 powerful strategies. You might think, well, Carrie, they all sound very good, but I don't know, I'm still not sure whether I should ask the question in a meeting or not. I get it. I really do. Now let's rationally analyze what actually happens when you don't ask questions in meetings when you don't understand. Many people choose silence because they truly believe it is the better choice, but they've never thought through the consequences logically. So let's walk through them together today. And once we do, you will see exactly why staying silent makes you look incompetent and hurts you professionally. First, it prevents you from improving your listening skills. Think about it. When you ask for clarifications, what happens? People help you understand by rephrasing, using more examples, or slowing down. When you finally understand their explanation, you can often make sense of what was said earlier. This is exactly how listening skills improve. You didn't understand something and then other people use different ways to help you understand, and now you understand something. But if you never ask, you never get these learning opportunities and your listening skills stay exactly where they are. Second, and this is something most people don't realize, you think asking questions might make you look a bit stupid, but staying silent makes you be really stupid. Let's think about what actually happens. You don't understand something, but instead of asking, you pretend you do. Then you either cannot complete the work, or it takes you a long time to do it, or worse, you do the wrong thing entirely. And now you don't just look stupid, you are stupid. And it gets even worse. Your colleagues and managers might see you as someone who doesn't even care enough to ask questions. When you don't ask questions, you're basically saying, well, I don't really care enough to make sure that I understand it correctly. Think about how devastating that is for your professional image. In a professional world, that's far more damaging than any language barrier or any kind of misunderstanding could ever be. Not asking questions doesn't just show incompetence, it shows you don't even care enough to try. And that is the fastest way to destroy your professional image. So here's the bottom line. Not asking questions hurts you far more than asking questions ever could. When you ask questions the right way, you actually get the information you need, you improve your listening skills, actually look smarter, and build better relationship with everybody in the meeting. So use the phrases I provided in the free guide, practice them well, and use them next time you need to ask for clarifications in your English meetings. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.